Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian, and a special edition. We're going live, and yeah, the reason I'm going live, well, no particular reason. The reality is that I know I've had a lot of work to do this week, and thus I've been focused on making videos which were easy for me to make, and thus I wanted to speak with you about a few things which have been happening over the week, because I haven't been able to put these videos together. It's as simple as that. I haven't been able to put the videos together. I know a lot of you guys might think that I just throw them together, but I do quite a lot of research into these videos, into some of the videos anyway. And so I wanted to speak a little bit about a few of the things which have been coming up over the week. More notably, I want to pass by some of the videos that I made a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to speak with you guys about, you know, just how those things, how those particular investigations have progressed. Okay, so we haven't just left them there; that they have progressed, and we have seen movement in some of them. And it's positive for the most part. So that's why I wanted to. Hello, Andre. How are you doing? Yeah, it's positive for the most part. So it's good to hear this. You know, the name of the live today, we're going live, and we're going live with SUBUKWE. Actually, he's just about to come on in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. He's going to be joining us, and basically we're going to be talking about safety in general. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the safety of the diaspora in general. So we're going to be talking about the Timothy Reed murder in Colombia, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about what African Tigress had put on. Thank you, Andre. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you. We're also going to talk about African Tigress and her call out to not just to the African continent, but to the entire diaspora about what has been happening in the Middle East. I've made a video about this already, and I'm going to make another video about this, actually, because it's important that we know what is going on in the Middle East, especially with the Eastern African women going to the Middle East, working as they're at this moment they are working as maids, cooks, and so forth, house workers, helpers, whatever you want to call them. We're going to get into this, actually, because this is something which I hold quite close to my heart, because those people are I have to be careful. I have to be careful. The last time I made a video about this, they blocked it because, yeah, it's something needs to happen there. Something needs to happen. What else do we need to talk about? We're going to talk about investing on the continent as well. Investing on the continent and investing. Hello, Tanya. Nice to see you. Investing on the continent and investing in other parts of the diaspora. I know a lot of you guys are planning to move to other parts of the diaspora. You may be in the diaspora already. Africa isn't big on your plans, so you don't mind going over there visiting, but you don't want to go there and live there permanently, perhaps because it's too far away for you. You got kids back in Europe or in the States. You want to stay close to them, but you don't want to live amongst the unfortunates, we'll call them that. So you want to leave. So we want to speak about how you can leave without having to fall into the hands of these bloody pests. These scam artists, these people who are selling land at 4 times the price, overinflated land. Those types of people. Hello, Shaka. I'm only going on for an hour, guys, by the way. I just wanted to let you guys know that. I'm just going to see where my guest is. Yeah, he's just setting himself up. He'll be coming in any moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's not quite here yet. So, yeah, so what we've got is we have a lot of people from the diaspora who are either moving back to Africa, or they are moving to go away, other parts of the diaspora, to look for work or whatever, and they seem to be alone. Okay, and it's not good. It is not good at all. We got people moving to other parts of the diaspora, and they're keeping their fingers crossed and hoping that whoever is taking them is going to treat them well. And we don't want this. This is not the way. This isn't the way it should be. The reality is we should be standing up for each other. You know, I've got a friend in the UK, and he's a Kurdish guy. He's Kurdish, right? And there is no community that sticks together like the Kurdish community. They don't mess around with anybody else. They don't buy anything from anybody else unless they are Kurdish. So no. Let's have a look. Invite a guest. No. Participants. So, sorry, back to, hello, Trey. Hello, Edra. Hello. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. I know this was ad hoc, once again, really quick. I didn't even know I was doing this until 40 minutes ago. Okay. But I wanted to speak with you guys anyway, because I haven't really spoken to you in general in the last week. I've been doing too many of these videos on this, what's her name again? Byam. Yes. I've been doing too many videos on Mary Jane Byam. I might touch on her, actually. Not in that way. Not like, you know, I might touch on the subject of Mary Jane Byam. Touch on Mary Jane Byam. Anyway, so might speak about her for a little while, just to let you know the reasons why I've been doing videos about her. Okay, it's important. It's important that you guys know, because the reality of you guys, like I said, you wouldn't fall for this. You wouldn't fall for a girl like her. But some of your kids and perhaps some of your grandchildren would. So it's important that you know that there are people in their mid-20s out there who are just starting in the game, and they're realizing the power that they have, and they're putting themselves now in a position where they're going to set themselves up for life. I wouldn't be surprised if Mary Jane Byam is already a millionaire, right? So God knows what she's doing with her money, but yeah, this is the reality, that there are people who make careers in doing what they are doing. So yeah. Hello, Ebony Riley. Hello, and welcome to the chat. Hello, Kindred. Hello, guys. It's good to see you guys here. Let's see if my no, I don't see my guest here yet. So that's what we're going to touch on. We're going to touch on those subjects. Can't see you. So let's make a start. So first of all, this Mary Jane Byam. Let's just quickly chat about her. So Mary Jane Byam, 25-year-old young lady who's gone abroad, has offered people to come over and have excursions with her, visit her, so she could show them, you know, certain attractions in the whatever particular country they've gone to, and she is essentially, you know, con them, really. You know, she at one point she said that she was going to commission a boat, a yacht for them guys to go on, you know, and go out for a journey. And I think they paid a reasonable amount of money for this yacht tour or something like that. And I think they each paid $200, and I think in the end they found out that the actual yacht was only $40 or something, like $40 each. It was chump change. She's been doing things like this, and this is not abnormal. Strangely enough, this is quite normal, strangely normal, for them to do this. And it's scary because they're getting away with it. The scary thing about Mary Jane Byarm is that there are so many people who don't care. They don't care whether they're getting scammed. They want to be near her or with her. They don't. It doesn't matter to them that they're being scammed. And you know, you don't even have to have that much of this this perfect personality, because Mary Jane Byarm does not have an incredible personality. I don't know whether you've noticed that, but it doesn't come out in any of the videos. She seems quite bland, like a tasteless cookie. Just really, there's no in her. And I'm sure you guys can see that to an extent. Let's have a look. Tanya Metoya. This is actually important, Tanya. Luckily for me, any land purchases I'd make in Gambia, I'd allow my husband to handle, as he is Gambian. I had no idea. Wow. When's the last time he went back to Banjul, Serekunda, wherever? MM. I will never trust anyone of those people saying go back to Africa and come here to buy land. Those people are ripping people off, ripping their own kind off. Yeah, I learned from Art Cathy and the rest. Exactly. And the thing is, we know it's happening. And it doesn't seem to be stopping. If anything, right now that summer's coming up, it seems to be speeding up. They're really gearing up. And there are more scams to come. I'm looking forward to next week because I've got some mind-blowing videos to come out. Like I said, I've been making these Mary Jane Byarm videos because it's been comfortable to make them. I haven't had to, go into lots of detail and stuff. I could just make them, and it's enjoyable. I can make them in a few hours, right? And that leaves me a bit of time to really focus on SAMUMBA, right? Yeah. To focus on the real deal and the real stuff. Let's have a look. I don't see you, mate. Yeah, so it's given me the time to really focus on the real stuff. Let's have a look. Okay. So the real stuff is coming out next week, the good stuff, at the beginning of next month, the beginning of June the 1st. We're going to get into, let's have a look. We're going to get into speaking about some of the things that are happening in the diaspora. We are fighting back. Let's just say that. I don't really want to talk about it just yet, but we are fighting back. We're not just going to take this line down. We're not just going to allow these people to just go over and just, okay, how much money am I going to make this year? How much money am I going to rob this year from the diaspora? They're quietly confident that they are going to do this. You got to remember, these people have moved from across the diaspora. They've moved from the United States or from the UK or from France. Some of them, they've moved to the African continent for a reason, because they believe that they can make a living out of doing this. So they are pretty confident. They're pretty confident that no one can stop them, not even the authorities. Let's have a look. Due to these cases, African diasporans will have hard time in future buying land. Yeah, but the thing is, it's so easy. It's so easy to buy. There's so much land there. That's what I'm about to say. There's so much land there. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to post the link so SAMUMBA can join me, actually. Let's have a look. How do you do this? Post comment. There you go. Because SAMUMBA wanted to talk with me a little bit about the about this about the scamming that's going on at this present moment. He wanted to talk about it. He wanted to give me his 2 cents on what's been happening, and what can we do to stop it. It's been frustrating. It's been a frustrating 6-7 months. I remember way back 6 months ago, got my first arrest. I was like, yeah, oh, this is just the beginning. Let's keep it rolling. And up until now, it's just been the same. Not one other arrest has happened. And yeah, it's rather disappointing. Let's just say that. So, but we are making plans. I've made plans now. It is very sad about the brother in Colombia. It is very, very sad, Tanya. And at this moment, things are not looking brilliant. Things are not looking brilliant because it looks like this woman that he was with has now moved into the apartment that he bought 2 days before, or the day before he was shot. Coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. Let's have a look. Can you do a video on Nigerian unemployment fraud? $650 million Nigerian unemployment. I heard about this. Yeah. Do you know what? I will. I think I will. I wasn't going to, but now that you've just brought it up, I think I will. Yeah. Let's have a look. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to touch on in a video. Jojo Mama. Scammers everywhere, some due to desperation, but Africa has a particular breed of ruthless evil ones, all pretending to be good Christians. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. A lot of them are using Christianity, some of them are using Islam, some of them are using even Judaism, some of them are using Pan-Africanism. It doesn't matter. Whatever, all those, you know, all those things are agents. You know, they're just a means to an end. They are the way that they get into your minds. And it's really sad. Who are you going to trust if you can't trust another fellow brother from the same country as you, from in seemingly the same position that you're in, move to another country, but you can't trust him? Why? Because he just wants your money. He doesn't care about you. That's horrible. But like I said, I'm working on something right now, and we're nearing a time. It's not going to be launched until the end of June. Sorry, I should say end of June. But I'm going to start talking about it in a few weeks from now, and I'm hoping that it's going to put these people out of business. That's the whole point of this project. It's to put people, it's to put those scammers in a situation where they are scared, right? It's a way of you know, mitigating risk for those of whom who want to invest in South America and on the African continent, and even anywhere else where, you know, anyone wants to invest in. Okay, it doesn't even have to be on the African continent. I'm just focused on the African continent because that's where I've got infrastructure that has now been set up there. Okay, we needed infrastructure, we needed employees on the ground right there. So once everything is set up, and we are nearing that time where everything is set up, that's it. We're just going to kick off and hopefully put people in a stronger position. Let's have a look. Beatrice Mensah, first time watching you live from Toronto. I'm a 70-year-old Ghanaian woman who is paying attention to you. Please send your videos to Ukanaba TV Israel. Ah, I've never heard of that TV station. Is that a Judean TV station? Is that for the I don't know that TV station, but it's in Israel. But nice to see you all the way from Canada. Nice. Let's have a look. SAMUMBA, where are you? Where are you? Say his name. Timothy Revel Reed. That's the one. Timothy Revel Reed. And yeah, let's just say that we're not going to allow his death to be in vain. Absolutely will not allow his death to be in vain. There are things happening in the background right now to make sure, and we're not afraid of these people. We're not afraid of these people. And we need to make sure that even though the authorities are doing precious little, even the American authorities aren't really doing much, which is typical, right? It's not a surprise, okay, that you know, an African American man gets murdered abroad, and the American government is like, oh, okay, it's too bad. That kind of thing. Dear. Let's have a look. What happened to him will happen to most black men from US. So hungry for work. Okay, let's touch on this. Let's touch on this, because I had a conversation with a gentleman this afternoon, and it's undeniable, right? Colombia is a hot spot for these, you know, for extremely beautiful women. Yeah, it's filled with beautiful women. Colombia is filled with beautiful women, and it's sorry, put that out of the way. And it's a hive for African American men. A lot of African American men are attracted to the country because of a number of things. It's easy. First of all, African American men, they're like, how do I say it? They're wanted by women all over the rest of the world. I'm not sure about the United States of America, but over the rest of the world, like, you say you're an African American man, the women are going to be like, you understand that it's just the way it is, okay? That they have that about them. I'm not, you know, they are seen as being the, I don't know, the epitome of black not masculinity, black men in general. So let's have a look. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna add some number to the screen. So anyway, that's what black men are. And so when you have a combination of these things in Colombia, you have the beautiful women, you got good quality of life, good quality of healthcare. You've got it's cheap to live there. You can live above your means. I've seen a beautiful house over there for $100,000. Come on, you know, once you bought the house, it's yours. You don't have to start paying taxes on it. you know, you have all these factors factored in, and there are parts of Colombia which are really safe. So people are just, African American men are just being like, "What? Stay here in America for what for?" And they are going down there, and they are enjoying themselves, and a lot of them are just staying there. They don't want to come back. So I just wanted to welcome SAMUMBA SUBUKWE to the live stream, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't let you in earlier. I didn't let you in earlier, so I'm sorry about that. But we're talking about Timothy Revel Reed. So
yeah.
What's your thoughts on what happened?
All right, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, got a slight delay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a channel called, I think, Travels with Babas, and this is a brother. I think he's a Haitian brother, and he does a lot of travels in Colombia, and he gives a lot of tips. I think he kind of likes Colombian women, and I think he did an interview with the fiance or the girlfriend or whatnot. And honestly, listening to that interview, it really sounds like I don't think she was part of what happened to the brother.
Ooh.
I don't know if you listened to the interview. If she is, she deserves an Oscar, because she really sounded like she was really hurt, and she's really in a position because she has multiple children, I believe. And I guess unless she gets a payout of some sort because of his death, then maybe we could say it. But listening to her, I kind of believe her, you know.
Well, but she's living in the house that he bought now.
Right. But the way she was talking, it really sounded like she was broken up. She really sounds sincere. I could be wrong. And the way that the robbery went down, it seems like they didn't even get the chain or whatever. And the brother, God bless his soul, rest his soul. It looks like he made some mistakes out there. And yeah, I think that it's a real tragedy. But let me tell you one thing. I'm going to personalize it a little bit. I was listening to the video, and the brother mentioned, I think it's Colombian Cupid or Cupid Colombian. It's a dating website. I went on there just to check it out because, I'm single. I'm looking for Afro-Cuban Colombian women. And I went on there. I just put one picture up, better picture than I'm looking now. And I got so many hits. I get like hits every day. And women from like 20 to 40 to 50 and plus. And they are not, I mean, it's a lot of women out there. And I don't know what percentage are looking for American men maybe to come up, or men that are born in America to come up, or what. But it's a smorgasbord of women in Colombia. And fortunately or unfortunately, I think a lot of brothers will travel to Latin America and other countries, like that, in order to find a woman or to find sex or to find whatever. And I think we as Black men of the diaspora have to be really careful of what's going on. And definitely, if we're going to go down there, don't be marketing every move that we make. He should have, I think the brother, and I'm not trying to blame him for being killed at all, but I think that the brother should have probably delayed when he puts out stuff, not to do stuff live, because what I understand is, YouTube is universal. They're watching it in Colombia. They're watching it all over the world. So you have to be careful of how you move down there. And a lot of times, if you're a Black American or a person from the diaspora, you'll kind of stand out. If you're not wearing slides and you wearing, chains and jewelry and carrying yourself in certain ways, even wearing dreadlocks down there, understand, you kind of make yourself a target. So it's wherever you go, you got to be really careful, just being a person of the African descent and coming down there and knowing that you may have more wealth than the person that lives down there, the average person that lives down there.
Exactly. And I don't know. He didn't seem to me to be a green person when it comes to traveling. This Timothy Reed, he seemed to know his stuff. The average person who is going abroad would never really consider going abroad to buy a place and doing all these things like that if they hadn't had some experience traveling or being, he seemed like a good businessman actually. So I just don't understand why he wouldn't have taken these simple precautions. You know, he sounded like he was on his own, but I'm looking at his family. His family's solid now. It's just sad that it's, you know, hindsight is 2020, isn't it? If he'd have known. But you should know this is Colombia. This is not exactly a place which has been marketed over the last 20 years as being a safe place for anybody, especially Americans. So I think he should have known better. But like I said, I'm not going to put him down. And we're in a situation now where this lady who is now living in that house, we don't know what legal status that house is in. Who does that property go to? Does the property go to her, or does the property go, you know, is the property supposed to go to Timothy Revel Reed's children back in the United States? That's where we're at now.
Yeah, I think time will tell with this situation. And if she ends up not getting any of the money, then I guess we'll really know what's going on. But, you know, there's a lot of women down there, and he chose a woman that had a few children already. And I'm not saying that she was a bad-looking woman, but there's a lot of women to choose from. So to me, he really, really must have liked her, because he wasn't just going down there looking for, I guess, just a Latina from Colombia. I mean, he got him a black woman from Colombia. She even sounded like she was like maybe from Nigeria, like straight from the continent. So I think he really loved her, and she seemed really sincere. But I just think the I forget the name of the town. I think it starts with a C, but it's supposed to be kind of grimy as well. Just listening to people from there. So that's another kind of bad move. And they already look at African Americans in a certain way down there. You know, but there's no way to predict it. I mean, he had a good business plan. The way he was talking about his restaurant, man, that's like a place that I would visit when I go down there. It seemed like he had everything going great. He ended all of his streams with God bless and God got me and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it just really makes you wonder, like, you spend your whole life, he was in his 50s, I believe. You spend your whole life to build for this, and this is how it ends. And that's why I like the work that you're doing, brother, in terms of the scammers, exposing the scammers, you know, that's going on. And it's really hard, you know, it's really hard to decipher, especially when you're dealing with people online. You never know what's really going on. So you have to do your homework, not just when you go back to Africa, but anywhere you travel in the world. So, and there's a lot of, I think there's like some sort of a civil unrest because the government tried to raise taxes there to pay for infrastructure needs. Yeah. That's another thing. Maybe we can talk about this time or next time, the importance of taxes to pay infrastructure. And that's lacking in Africa, that I'm starting to find out. It's very much lacking in Africa because a lot of times the people don't pay taxes. Go ahead.
SAMUMBA, do you know, I watched, you know, it's funny that you just said that. Do you know, I watched the other day, literally yesterday, I follow an Instagram account called Supercars of Nigeria. And they had a video up, and it's, oh my God, it's just so ridiculous. You have these guys, kids in Ferraris and Lambos and everything, driving down this dusty orange road, which you can't drive a normal car on it. And I'm like, what do they have any idea how silly this looks? You know, you don't have even, it was in the DRC actually. So the reality is they actually do have the money for it, but they just don't spend it on it. So it was in the DRC, and they're driving these Lambos down this potholed orange dust road. Just, I'm like, oh come on.
I think I saw that video.
Huh?
Yes. Yeah? I think I saw that video. Yes.
So
is he like a rapper or some sort of entertainer?
Him. Yeah. He's driving a yellow Lambo. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. Yeah. I mean, it's good that he's there. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah. A lot of those guys he would have, you know, with money like that, a lot of those guys, French speaking, they would have gone to Paris by now and started living their lives there. But he stayed in the DRC. Got to give him respect for that. But yeah, a lot of that money is being siphoned away. A lot of money has been siphoned away by leaders, right? By these really corrupt leaders, and they're putting it inside their own pockets and in these trust funds for their children in different counts in Switzerland and in the Bahamas and all those places to hide it away from people. And they're robbing these people. These people don't even, the people of the DRC, they have to pay for their medicine, which is wild. It's a wild thing for me to hear that, because I've never in my life had to pay for medicine. Okay, we don't pay for it in the UK. We don't pay for medicine ever. Not even if you're wealthy, you don't pay for it. It's part of the National Health Service. You get it given to you. Okay, so we pay for it in our taxes. So it's just wild for me to hear these stories of people in the DRC not being able to pay for aspirin. It's just real medial stuff that we wouldn't even blink an eyelid at over here. And yeah, we need to do more about that. Just quickly going back to Colombia, though, they are, I think, I watch a Colombian YouTuber. Her name is Maya, actually. Beautiful young lady, like really big curly hair. And she was talking about why these protests were going on in Colombia. And basically what you've got is you've got a lot of the working class in Colombia. They earn around $100 a month, less than $100 a month, the average person. And that's an average. So she was saying that's an average. So most people are on less than $50 a month, and they have to eat with that. They have to pay the rent with that. They have to, buy their clothes with that, or they have to, they have to run their families on less than $50 a month. Like, how is that even possible? They're doing it, though. They're doing it. But those people have been taxed. Those people who are earning $100 a month are being taxed, the majority of the people. But they haven't risen the taxes on the millionaires and the billionaires.
Okay.
This is where we have the problem. It's like, what the hell are they doing? So this is why they are freaking out down there in Colombia, and all these protests are happening, and rightly so, in my point of view. There needs to be something needs to be done. I'm not sure if they've done a U-turn yet, this government. They were about to implement this law, this ruling, to make sure they could pay for, I don't know, stuff which has happened since COVID. They needed to find a way. So they looked at the poor people and literally added the taxes to the poor people instead, which is wild, absolutely wild. Do you have any hope for infrastructure in Africa? Do you think that they're going to start building it? Because at least they have infrastructure in Colombia, right? They have roads. They have, they have working electricity 24 hours a day. I've been there. I've been to the border. It's normal.
Well, I think they have in Colombia, if I'm not mistaken, they have a relatively big middle class. Maybe we wouldn't consider it that here, the same middle class here, but and then $50 and $100 there is different than us. But at the end of the day, you're right. The billionaires and the millionaires don't really get taxed, because the government down there thinks just like the government here, trickle down economics. And if you tax the wealthy, then they're going to take their business elsewhere. They're not going to provide the government with this and that. And you got to also remember, Colombia was at one point a narco state. So the Pablo Escobars and the Cali cartels and others were also paying for a lot of those roads. stadiums, even the soccer team, the national soccer team. So that's another factor. But in Colombia, but in Africa, I would like to say that I have hope, but like you say, the leadership is very, very corrupt a lot of times. And I watched a video about Mobutu in the Congo, or what he renamed Zaire, and how he had basically that Congo is a huge country area-wise, but he some sort of way had this patronage system where he was able to run and rule the entire country for 20 or 30 years after they killed Lumumba. And that seems to be the way of African leaders and corrupt leaders across the world, is that they will get their tribe or their clan or their family and create a patronage system based on loyalty. And the reason why there is so much corruption is because it's easier for those people that have the institutions and the policemen and others to be paid off by, drug dealers and European companies and corporations that keep fomenting the wars around, rather than what the government pays them. So you're going to have this rampant corruption in the Congo. But there's so many resources in the Congo and Nigeria alone that could fuel a lot of Africa if there's some sort of equitable system of the sharing of resources. And it's going to take, and I'm not trying to be whatever here, but it's going to take a real revolution to change throughout the continent. And when I say revolution doesn't just mean fighting and killing and taking over. Revolution means change. At the end of the day, revolution, if you look up the word, it means change. Radical is square root. So they need square root change in Africa. And I think the only thing that's going to really truly change Africa, just like for Africans throughout the diaspora, is education. And I don't mean getting a degree and graduating. I'm talking about a re-education of the mind of what's going on. But as long as we have these corporations from Europe that are there exploiting, mining companies and other companies that are exploiting, and they're paying off the African leaders, governments, and the leaders have their own patronage system and their own tribes and their own families who they have to feed and all the rest of that stuff in order to stay in power, you're going to have these problems. I see good governance in only so many places in Africa, unfortunately. And I know one of the places that you expose a little bit is Rwanda. Rwanda is one place. I think Tanzania is pretty decent on that. And I believe the Ghanaian leader is also trying to is a pretty decent leader. Yeah. But at the end of the day, so much tribalism and so much corruption. And it's not just corruption just because these people are greedy and all the rest of that, but the way that they've organized and formed these states, a lot of times it's along tribal lines. In Rwanda, it was definitely among tribal lines, same way in Zimbabwe throughout the country. And we still have this legacy of this going on. A lot of these countries, are the way that they're drawn up, you're going to continually have conflict. And I hate to say it, but Nigeria should probably be 3 countries. It's like the Hausa, the Yoruba, and the Igbo. And that country, the way those countries are split up, or the way they're drawn, you're going to have these continual conflicts. The Biafran War is a good example of that. And I would definitely encourage everybody to just go on YouTube after this and just look up the Biafran War, why it started, what happened, how many people died. And I think that's kind of a clue to what's going on in Africa. So, I do see some hope in certain parts of Africa, but it's going to be really hard there because of just the resources are not spread around in the right kind of way. And I know some leaders are trying, but, there is hope for the future because Africa, I think they say like 70% of Africa is under 30 years old, something like that. Yeah. So there's some hope for the future. I hope we get to see the land before we, step off the planet.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see that we've been able to grow our population, even though we haven't got the best of conditions over there. A lot of the people over there are thriving. I know it's not all doom and gloom. I follow lots of YouTubers from Nigeria, Nigerian YouTubers, Nigerian Instagram account holders, and they tend to show the better side of their countries, which, and I got to admit it, there are parts of Nigeria that are extremely beautiful, extremely modern, but it's just too lopsided. It's a lot like South, not even, I would say it closely resembles South Africa in terms of the distance between the poor and the rich, which is ludicrous in South Africa. It's unbelievable that even after apartheid has fallen, the majority of the wealth and the land still is in the hands of the white Europeans. It's unbelievable that they haven't even bothered to turn around and say, hey, do you know what? It was bad what we did. Do you know what? Let's give half of that to you. Let's raise the taxes on what we get, and we'll put that back into schools just for you, and you can have your schools, and you can build up your children. Let's start institutions for you guys. That money's for institutions. We're sorry. We didn't get that. The Europeans did not do this to the Black South Africans. After apartheid fell, there was like, yeah, it's all right. We're giving this to you. They acted as if it was something they were giving to the people, when in reality, they really didn't have a choice. They had the Namibian and the Angolan armies, which were they were about to go into South Africa. They would have eventually have walked into South Africa, and it wouldn't have been a good thing if you were a white European living in South Africa, because at that time it wouldn't have been good. It would have been a massacre. And so that's what Nelson Mandela actually stopped, and why he's praised. Actually, he's praised a lot for those reasons. Yeah. Because a massacre was inevitable. It was inevitable until Nelson Mandela sort of stepped in. Hello, Bo Diddley. Nice to see you back. And Africa is the future. Yes, nice to see you guys back. The objective one. A man from the least educated populace in the world pontificating what people in their own country should do. I'm not quite sure what that means, but we'll go on. So yeah, what do you believe is the answer? I mean, do you have an answer? I know it's a difficult question. I know. I'm gonna throw this to you because I genuinely believe that eventually the leaders, the leading countries of Africa, like Nigeria, we've got just Nigeria really. We're not even going to count the North African countries. We won't count them because they're not really part of the full African story. But I have a lot of hope for these countries, the ones that have a lot of wealth. But the Congo, the DRC, I just don't even understand where to start. There is infighting everywhere throughout the continent, and it's been purposely perpetuated by foreign interests who want to make sure, who want to make sure that the ground is the country is as unstable as possible. They don't want it to be stable. A stable country is bad for them, so they want to keep they want to keep it, they want to keep it all fragmented. And the more fragmented it is, the easier it is for them to come in and steal the resources. I mean, just look at what's happening in northeast Congo at this present moment. What's happening there is absolutely ridiculous. And the leader of the DRC is allowing it to happen. He's allowing the Rwandan government to come in, take all the coltan they want, and get rid of all the people in those areas at the same time. They're allowing them to do it, and it's ethnic cleansing is ethnic cleansing, regardless of. I don't care who you are and what where you've come from. It is what it is. You can't change, even though, you know, even though it was, there are a lot of Tutsis. Is it no?
Hutus?
Is it the Tutsis? It was the Hutus. Yeah, there's a lot of Hutus. There's a lot of Hutus that escaped into the DRC. They're just using it as an excuse. The Rwandan army's like, yeah, there's lots of those people there. They're in the DRC now, so we need to go and get them. They're going inside there. They're staying in the DRC, and they're setting up mines for the coltan in the DRC. And the DRC government is like, yeah, they're just turning the other way. Rwanda is now the world's #1 leader in coltan export. Rwanda.
Rwanda?
It's #1.
I'm learning.
That tiny little country. Yeah, of course. You could check that for yourself, guys. You could Google that. The world's #1 coltan exporter. That tiny little country of Rwanda. And everybody knows that they're getting the minerals from the DRC. They know they're getting it from next door. But they're choosing not to say anything. They're just sort of letting it slide. It's kind of weird.
Right. If you look at what happened when Mobutu was overthrown eventually by Kabila, if you look at that, Congo, like a lot of like most of Africa, was never. I mean, there's so many different tribes and things of that nature. Kinshasa only survived. The capital of the Congo is when the Cubans came in. I think Zimbabwe came in, Angola came in. I think remnants of the Soviet Union came in to prop them up. That whole country, it was like it wasn't just the people against Mobutu and then people against Kabila. It was, like you say, Rwanda was involved, Angola, different in Uganda, taking sides. And I think that one thing we have to understand is here in the diaspora in America and other places, Africa was never like one united continent. You know, it was never one united place. And I think that we had scholars like Dr. Chikante Diop, who wrote a book called The Cultural Unity of Black Africa. And so when you look at the different cultures throughout Africa, you'll see a lot of similarities, a lot of connection points. And at the end of the day, until we can get to finding our culture, unifying factors of our culture, which is really based in the family, the village, the community, we're going to have these problems. Like I say, the Congo and Nigeria could fuel most of Africa by itself. It could light it up, all sources throughout it. And I think somebody keeps mentioning the Africa Free Trade Zone. I think that's a good idea. I understand that there's an East African Federation. Is it Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, and another country up there where they formed some sort of like, I don't want to say NATO, but like a trade federation. And they have free trade throughout East Africa. And I think that's a pretty good idea as well. Taking down some of the borders, taking down some of the barriers to trade and sharing resources and things of that nature. We need to, I think, when outside forces come in, it has to be more of a benefit for Africa. I'm kind of both ways about China, because China is really good at infrastructure, transportation, trains, stuff like that. The only problem with that is you have hundreds of millions of Chinese that maybe are already moving into Africa as well and kind of recolonizing the place in a sense, because they're running out of space to live in China. So it's, I don't want to say a natural progression, but that's the progression that's happening, and that we have to get some sort of a form and grip on, because I don't know if we have the necessary, all of the technicians and the engineers and infrastructure knowledge, enough of that, because a lot of our brain, the brain trust of Africa, of Africans, often come to America, even China, and leave other places, stuff like that. So we have to really address the whole infrastructure question in Africa, and hopefully these free trade areas in East Africa and West Africa and creating more federations could be a really good thing. I really like what until they killed him. I really like what Gaddafi was trying to do with the making the I think he was trying to use gold or African currency to fight the U.S. dollar and to unite the country, and that's why they killed him. Ultimately, Clinton and all the rest of them. And we need some visionary leaderships like that at that point, because if Gaddafi was still there, that is a place I think that could be a really good standard, a place for Africans to look forward to. Same thing with Burkina Faso and Thomas Sankara, who was a revolutionary as well. So I'm not sure that we have those sorts of leaders anymore. You know what I'm saying? In Africa.
Yeah.
And if so, where are they? Ghana and Tanzania seems to have pretty good leadership. And I guess you could say in Rwanda, in terms of the way that their government is structured, even though, Kagame had this baggage in the background that makes that possible. So it's very hard, but we got to realize that just people, African Americans in particular, like we all, a lot of us come from different places in Africa or different tribes, but because they detribalized us, took away our history and our heritage in terms of where we were from exactly in Africa, we have this view of Africa like, why don't they just unite and just get it together and things of that nature? And they don't realize, and sometimes we don't realize, these people have only been decolonized for about 60 years. In a lot of cases, these places that were decolonized or became independent then became neo-colonial states because they didn't have the infrastructure, they didn't have the expertise in order to continually build the country. So, United States has been around for what, 400 years, 300 years, 400 years, and it got its free, got the land because they stole it from somebody else, and then they got somebody else to build it. And then they maintain it through resources that they steal throughout the world. So this is why this country is developed, why a lot of Europe is developed as a result of what they did to Native people and African people and all the rest of that. So I think that we have to be really careful on how we look at Africa. And, Africans are going to have to solve their own problems wherever they live, wherever we live. We're all, I think, part of, the same huge tribe of Africa. But a lot of times Africans, they haven't been what we've been. They haven't gone through what we've gone through. They've seen black presidents. They don't see the hidden hand of Exxon and European corporations and American corporations that are pulling the strings in the background. If you look at the whole reason why Nigeria was created and how it was created, really through England, through Great Britain, quote unquote, Great Britain. If you really look at that, you see a lot of these countries are partially made. And so, we're going to have to come to grips with that. Somebody said Gaddafi was anti-black. No, he wasn't. Gaddafi wasn't anti-black. Gaddafi actually cursed the Arabs at the end and said that they were anti-African. He tried to kick them out. He was actually trying to bring Africans into Libya. Now, I'm not saying Gaddafi was perfect, but he was far from anti-black. Exactly. Oh, I think they said Gaddafi was pro-black. Okay, maybe I read that.
No.
But,
someone was saying he was anti-black. Someone was saying he was pro-black, seeking truth.
Oh, okay. Well, no, you didn't. Yeah, people need to really read what was going on, because he was trying to create an African currency that would rival the U.S. dollar. He was trying to do a lot of things there. He was also supporting a lot of liberation throughout Africa as well. Same thing with Castro. So anyway, so it's just so many things that we can do. But one thing that you're doing, I think that is good, kind of pulling off the veil of people that talk like they're Pan-African or African internationalists, but are really doing the same things that our colonial masters have taught us. Man, going over Africa,
wild, man. People,
wild. Yeah, I never thought about. Can we name drop?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's people that
man. Say whatever you want to say.
Dynastamir.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
Everybody was shocked by him.
There was a lot of rumors talking about him, saying that he was anti-African. I was like, you guys are crazy. Come on, man. He visits Africa all the time. The African people love him, you know. But I don't know. I'm just keep looking at the kinds of people he's hanging around with, like this Carla Genesis. This Carla Genesis is always on his show. I'm like, why is Carla Genesis on your show all the time? And this guy is like, Carla Genesis is like,
that's the guy in Colombia that was threatening people, and then Mr. Jackson, you did a video, and Mr. Jackson is like trying to record him. Is that the same guy I'm talking about? He's in Colombia now, hiding or something.
No, that's a different guy. That's a different guy. That's another guy, man. That's another guy. No, Carla Genesis, and that's oh gosh, what's his name again? Lou Major. His nickname is Lou Major. Yeah, he's in Colombia. He's in Colombia now with one of his wives. Apparently,
one of his wives.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, he has a couple. Apparently, go figure. So yeah, these people, they will snatch your money and they will just run for the hills. It's amazing what he was able to do without even leaving Colombia. He never left there, you know, and he's lined his pockets with hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's impressive. It's not right, but it's certainly the way he's done it. You know, that's just heartless. It's heartless to take people's money in that way. But it's good to see that this GAIA has actually, you know, they're fighting. Really, they are not messing around. These people aren't. And Lou Major's he's going to fall eventually. That's one thing.
Right.
A lot of these people believe that they can do the things that they can do and get away with it. It's not the case.
Right.
It's absolutely not the case. And we're going to make sure.
Well, you know, we live in an age now where it's hard to get away with crime, period. In America, there's cameras everywhere. Because of digital economy, that's easy to trace. It's easy to trace, you know, money and stuff like that. So like more and more criminals are going to have to be even more sophisticated. But let me just bring this up because I don't know if you heard. Now I have a friend in she lives in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. Mm-hmm. And at one point she was trying to get me to invest in some sort of Bitcoin. And she told me, I think she put about 20,000 USD into this, and she tried to get me to invest. And I just was like, let me hold on. I got my other stuff I'm trying to do. Anyway, long story short, I found out that the Nigerian government shut them down because they were scamming a lot of people. And now they're expecting their money to be released this week and next week. I have to talk to her, see if she got her money back. But that is another thing. I don't know if you heard about that. But yeah, they've been giving people warnings about
Nigeria. What was it? What was it? Speak about it. What was it? Wait a minute. I've heard about this. Go ahead. What was it? It's the
No, there was like a few companies. I can pull it up on my phone here, but there's a few companies where they were like they were basically warned. The Nigerian government had to shut them down because so many complaints of people putting in their money into these investment and with really pyramid schemes. And a lot of it was cryptocurrency. And they had to shut them down. And a lot of these people, like tens of thousands of people have lost their money in this cryptocurrency in Nigeria. And right now, I think everything is shut down, allowing certain banks, certain organizations and businesses to function using crypto. I can pull up the different names that she sent me. But yeah, so that's going on right now. It's probably something people may want to look up. But yeah, she was telling me $10,000. PGI is one of the corporations. It's called PGI. If you want to look that up. And the guy uses all of this. I'm a man of God. I wouldn't steal your money. The money is coming. We're building that. And this is like, oh man, religion is killing our people, man.
It is
always.
It is, and the thing is, these guys are so good with the way they talk. They're so good at hiding their true intentions. You know, you can never tell when they're about to do something. But this is the whole point. You know, if we can put people in a position of power, you know, where we can invest in real companies, because there are real investment companies in Africa, and at this moment they're getting a real bad rap. People don't want to invest with them. Insurance is too high. It's too difficult. You invest in the UK. You go to the UK. You're an American millionaire. You go to the UK. You invest in a bank in the UK. That bank fails.
Right.
You get all your money back. Okay, you get all your money back. You're insured automatically by the British government. You get all your money back. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. That same thing happens in Nigeria. You're buggered. Your money's gone. Move on. And this is why it's so difficult for people to invest in Africa, because well, one moment. Thank you, Trey, for the super chat. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, it's the risk of investing in certain countries in Africa is so high that many people can't get themselves insured, because you always got to insure you always got to make sure you're insured. Clearly, that's the way you do business, right? You don't just expose yourself to risk in that sort of sense.
Right.
And it's
that same thing here with the FDIC. Yeah.
Yeah. You have the same thing. Yeah, we have the FCA in the UK. So, you know, if something really bad happens, you're insured. You're good. You're going to get your money back. You're okay. And it gives people the confidence to walk into the UK or the United States of America and invest. You can invest in a company over there and not worry about someone coming and stealing your money. For one, if they do get caught, they're going to go to prison for an extremely long time, and ultimately you're going to get your money back. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We don't have any of these institutions or mechanisms, these financial risk mitigating mechanisms, to make sure that people like me and you can go and buy a house in Nigeria and not worry about that company failing and you losing all your money because, hey, they didn't have the enough money to continue building this project they were building. It's like, yo, it's a sad situation. It really is. And I really wish, I mean, you know, like I said before, I'm working on a project, guys. Soon, a couple of weeks time, I'm gonna bring it out. I'm gonna start to market it to people. It's a company which I'm hoping will be the answer to all this. I mean, making videos now about all these YouTubers, all these scammers, it's having little to no effect. These guys are just, oh, this is YouTube. This is social media. Social media, something goes on in social media. 1 week from now, it's gone. Who's the name of that guy, that big dude from the United States of America who cheated on his wife? He cheated on his wife.
Derek Jackson.
Derek Jackson. No one's spoken about Derek Jackson. He's a ghost for the last week. No one's spoken about him. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was all the rage. Everyone's, and then boom, nothing. We've moved on. Right. Exactly. So this is the way it is. So I can't. These YouTube videos are having little to no effect because you are making a YouTube video about a scammer and calling them all out. Everyone's like, that's it. And then they just, it's like they forget about him. It's like, yo, he's still there. He's still doing that work. So, yeah, there needs to be another way.
I had to disagree with you a little bit on a micro level. I just looked out the window. It's raining here in New York now. On a micro level, when it comes to you, Mr. Unapologetic Negropian, your page has grown. A
little bit. A little bit.
Hold on. Let me finish. interesting because I talked to a lot of people. I talked to a few people about you. They saw a couple of your videos before. And before you really started bringing out the receipts, and I think you've been doing that receipts for a while. And now when you post stuff about people like Miriam and Dynas, and you bring out the receipts, I see less and less dislikes. I see more and more, wow, I didn't know that. So we're not Maya Wode. We don't have numbers like that, you know.
Exactly.
But I think slowly but surely, I think some eyes are being opened. Think that it's not making these people that have these huge platforms, they're going to have these huge platforms. They're going to lose people. They're going to gain people. The information isn't going around fast enough. But when you did this thing about Miriam, yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you something, a little bit off the subject. It's coming up to, well, we're past an hour, so I wanted to sort of start closing down, but I've got a question. And this is a bit off the subject. Miss Trudy, this stuff that's going on with Miss Trudy, have you heard about it?
No, last I heard is that she was good. She was on her way to 200,000 views or something. What happened? I hope it's not bad.
She's been accused. So I think someone's been accused. Her and Wadamaya are accusing another YouTuber, another big Kenyan YouTuber, of copying them, apparently. This is what I heard. I've been watching it from afar, just like, yo, okay, this is it's not even that interesting, because you know Wadamaya, he's not going to come out and be like, yo, stay away. He's not going to do anything like that, because he's too big, he's too, you know, so he needs to tiptoe around everything. He's just like, you know,
too big.
So it's just interesting to see how these guys, because they're all young, and they're all kids. They're all kids with these big accounts, and they're doing well. I wish him well. And I'm hoping that I don't know. I haven't watched one of his videos in a long time. His videos tend to be a bit, I don't know, same thing. Oh yeah, chicken farm in Nigeria opens. I'm like, oh, okay, give me something. You know, I don't know. It's nice to see. He's a positive YouTuber, and he likes bringing out Africa in a positive light, and I think he needs to continue focusing on that. Not my cup of tea. I prefer a bit of, if I'm going to watch something, I need something which is going to sort of grab my attention. But you know, I wish him all the luck. Someone, but any last words before we sort of, anything else you want to touch on?
Just, you know, for everybody that's watching, just keep the faith. Keep watching this channel. Anybody that has receipts, like UN here, check it out. Be careful. Don't send your money. Don't cash out. Whatever isn't insured, don't send. We got to learn that. I have a friend I know we have to wrap. I have a friend that just went to Vegas for the first time, and he told me he lost about $1,500, some investor or whatever. And he said the whole thing was a cash app. And I'm like, cash app isn't insured. That's one thing you don't want to do. So I would just say that just stay aware, stay woke. Some of your most popular YouTubers are not always on the up and up. Now, Maya Wode and Miss Trudy and the unapologetic nomads, they're doing good things. But there's other people on here that you just got to be really careful of. I used to be a big fan of Go Black to Africa. And then I saw the piece he did about Jesus and teaching it to Black Africans. And then I started listening to other stuff, and it's just like, okay, take what you can, because he's gone to Rwanda. He's showing you how things kind of work. Take what you can from it, but take it with a grain of salt. Whoever is on
SAMUMBA, next week, I want to pass something by you in regards to Go Black to Africa. Okay, because I'm going to make a video about him next week. Right, it's not a damning one. Okay. I'm not going to start poking at him and stuff like that. It's just I want to talk a little bit about his history.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there.
He has a very interesting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
extremely interesting. So yeah, I want to bring that up next week when we've got the time to actually get into that and start really getting our teeth stuck in. It'll be interesting to have a chat. I also want to talk a little bit more about African tigress as well. So maybe we'll go live again actually.
Yeah.
Before that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
yes.
and then we
definitely.
can.
I want to say, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's how we kind of. I saw a video that I think she did about the Africans that go over to these Arab countries and end up almost in servitude, serfs, or kind of enslaved.
It's not supposed to be indentured service. It's not supposed to be. They're supposed to get paid, you know. And that's. I'm going to be doing a video about that next week as well. So it's important. It'll be interesting to see what kind of feedback I get on that, and perhaps even we should invite African tigress in as well to have a chat about what has happened. It'd be interesting to speak to her about it, and also it would be nice for me to speak with her about what I mean, because it's one thing for me to talk on YouTube about it, but there needs to be tangible change. So that means, you know, tangible work needs to be done. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that before the end of the week. So guys, listen, I know I was only supposed to be on for an hour, but guys, I really got to close it up now. It's Friday night. Go out, party, do some. Well, it's a Friday night over here anyway. It's not.
And please check out my channel as well.
I didn't even mention that, did I?
No, not yet. It's all right.
No, there you go.
Yeah. So just check it out.
I'm going to put your link at the bottom. I'm going to put your link at the bottom of this page. Once it's loaded, I'll put it up. Please check him out, guys. Please check out SAMUMBA SUBUKWE. Real good stuff.
And we're going to do this every week, once a week.
Yeah.
We're going to try to.
We're going to try and keep it on a Friday. Try and keep it on a Friday.
Okay. No, I'll make it happen. Even if
I'm
out
for the algorithms, even if it's just for the algorithms, we'll try it just on the Friday. Okay. So guys, thank you for joining me, guys. Do you know what? I think I'm going to leave shall I leave the chat on for a bit so you guys can chat for a bit? I gotta go. So I'm going to leave the chat on for you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. SAMUMBA, if you want to stay on for a bit, 5 minutes longer, you can do. Okay. I'm going to leave it on for 5 minutes so you guys can chat in the chat room, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until the next time, please think twice, guys. To our bit.
Peace. Okay. I guess I'm still on for a second. I do have to go in a few myself. You know, Africa in the future, is the future. I don't know where you're getting your information, but like I say, Gaddafi isn't perfect, wasn't perfect, but he did more for Africans than you name who's done more for Africans besides maybe Nkrumah, maybe Nyeri, maybe others, Thomas Sankara. He's done more for the continent, more positive for the continent than not. I think Gaddafi started off as an Arab nationalist following Nasser and others, but he quickly found that the Arabs were also, in a sense, colonizers. He spoke out against those in Sudan. He spoke out against the Arabs that didn't care about sub-Saharan Africa. A lot of things. So I think you need to really research your points about Gaddafi. The fact that he gave refuge to the Black Panthers, the fact that he funded liberation movements, including anti-apartheid movements in Southern Africa, you know, and the fact that he, funded a lot of liberation struggles in Africa. So I think, that information is off. And yeah, Nelson Mandela was also, all I can say about Nelson Mandela is you got to respect him for all the time he spent in jail. But at the same time, you also should listen to the things that his wife said about him, Winnie. at the end. So I think we got to really be really careful about, the leaders that are no longer here. The Pan-Africanist Congress said that Africa belongs to Africans, whereas the ANC, which Mandela belonged to, said South Africa belongs to everyone. And essentially, when he came into power, the white people kept the power over most of the economy. So the name of my YouTube channel is SAMUMBA SUBUKWE. I'm going to put it in the chat. Just my name. You just type in my name under search. And okay, so I just put my name down. And that you just type that in and you'll find me on YouTube. I have I post a lot of different sort of things. I focus on dating, relationships. I talk a little bit about Africa, but culture, things of that nature. And every morning I do I do 2 hashtags. One is called Dear Black People. I just post inspirational things under that hashtag every morning on my community page, and then Mornings with Mumba hashtag. So when you go to my page, go to my community tab, and you'll see a lot of content there. I have more content there than I have actual videos, but I did post a video up today. Is an update, and I have posted some other videos. My most recent video before today is about my aunt and uncle who have been married 74 years, going on 74 years at this point. So that's the sort of things that I talk about, because I feel like the way that we as people of African descent are going to truly come together is when we really start loving each other, and within relationships, within our families, within our homes, within our communities. So anyway, so I think I'm going to end the stream here and sign on out. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Again, please check out my channel, SAMUMBA SUBUKWE. Just type in my name, and that'll be it. So anyway, I love you guys. Have a great day. Me and Unapologetic Negropian will be doing this live stream every Friday. So we'll give you a time. It'll probably be around this time as well. And anyway, have a great day. I love you guys. Check out my channel. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I love you guys. And enjoy your Friday. Signing off from New York City. Peace.